Welcome to this week's module on MEHKO best practices. For this module, the Cook Alliance and the California Conference of Directors of Environmental Health have collaborated to bring you ideas on how to incorporate best practices into your home food business. My name is Kendra Wise, and I'll be your guide for this module. I'm a former health inspector, and I'm now working with the California Conference of Directors of Environmental Health to support MEHKO programs statewide. Let's begin. What is a best practice? A best practice is a standard or set of guidelines that is known to produce good outcomes if followed. Some best practices are specific to a business or industry, and some are simply common sense. Module, we'll be talking about best practices for MEHKOs in the following areas: approved food sources, menu creep, food waste and food donation, fats, oils, and grease disposal, being a good neighbor, and landlord approval. Let's begin. Like all retail food facilities, MEHKOs must get the food they prepare and serve from an approved source. This is especially important for food safety. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has identified food from unsafe, unapproved sources as one of the top 5 risk factors contributing to foodborne illness in the United States, so this is a key part of your business. Approved sources comply with all applicable laws, and most approved sources have a permit or a registration from a government agency, which may also inspect the facility to make sure they're handling food safely. These permits or registrations are in addition to and separate from a business license. You can ask a business or person you're considering as a food supplier for your MEHKO if they have a registration, license, or permit from a food safety regulatory agency. They should be able to provide you with an unexpired certificate that you can review and keep for your records. Some, like the community food producers we will talk about in a little bit, may not get an inspection or have a certificate or permit. You can ask your environmental health agency for help in determining whether or not they would be an approved source for your MEHKO. Examples of approved sources include retail grocery stores like Vons, Walmart, and Ralph's, membership clubs like Costco, Sam's Club, and Restaurant Depot, distributors like Cisco and US Foods, and certified farmers markets or farm stands. These are just examples. There are a lot of different approved food suppliers in California. It is also possible to use foods from a community food producer. This is a person or business who grows food on land that is not zoned for agricultural use. Examples of community food producers include people with suburban or urban gardens, culinary or school gardens, or people growing food in greenhouses that were on formerly industrial or commercial properties. These can be approved sources of food for MEHKOs. Not all jurisdictions inspect or issue permits or registrations to community food producers, so they may not have a permit or a certificate to show you. However, all community food producers must follow specific requirements in state law for the food they produce to be used in a MEHKO or other food facility. If you would like to become a community food producer and use your homegrown produce in your MEHKO, or source some food from a community food producer in your area, please talk to your environmental health staff about these requirements to make sure that the food you're using is approved for use in your MEHKO. It is especially important that any animal products you purchase, such as meat, poultry, and dairy, be from an approved source. Meat must be slaughtered in a slaughterhouse approved by the United States Department of Agriculture, and dairy products must be prepared in a facility that has a dairy license or a permit. The laws around approved sources can be complicated, so don't ever hesitate to ask your local environmental health department for help. They can let you know if a supplier you are considering is an approved source. A MEHKO's health permit is linked to 3 things: the person applying for the permit, the operator, the home of the operator, what we call the physical location or address, and number 3, the menu. Because a MEHKO's permit is approved based on its proposed menu, changes to your menu may need approval from environmental health. You should check with your environmental health agency before you make significant changes to your menu, especially when adding a new type of food to your existing menu. For example, if your approved menu is cold sandwiches and salads, but you want to expand your menu to offer hot sandwiches or pizza, you would need to check with your environmental health agency first to make sure that that's a good fit for your MEHKO. Adding or changing a cooking technique also may require approval from environmental health. For example, if you were slow roasting pork ribs in your oven, but you want to buy a smoker and start cooking them outside. If you change how you serve your customers, such as changing from dine-in to takeout, you would also want to contact your environmental health agency to let them know before starting that change. And you should always check with them before adding a piece of equipment, such as a smoker, a pizza oven, a barbecue, a deep fryer, or a deck oven. Offering variations on the type of food you already serve, such as offering different types of lunch meat on cold sandwiches or different types of topping on pizza, typically doesn't require additional approval from environmental health. As a MEHKO operator, your goal is to produce exactly the right amount of food for your customers. Food waste is bad for your business and contributes to environmental problems. But you'll probably have excess food at some point. And in this slide, we'll talk about options for donating that food to help reduce hunger in your community. California is a leader in allowing food businesses to safely donate excess food to help reduce hunger. California law protects food businesses that donate wholesome, properly prepared and stored foods to nonprofit organizations that distribute food for free to people who are hungry. Food can also be donated directly from the business to the people who will eat it. If you anticipate having leftover food from your MEHKO that you would like to donate, check with local nonprofit organizations working to reduce hunger to see if they would be able to use your excess food. If so, you and they can work together to develop a method for getting your MEHKO's food to them in a way that works for both of you and keeps the food safe. Remember that any food you donate from your MEHKO must be donated on the same day it was made. A MEHKO can also deliver directly to its customers, and so a MEHKO could deliver unsold food free of charge directly to community members. You may also want to talk to your tax preparer about whether you can get a tax credit for the foods that you donate. The Public Health Alliance of Southern California has a useful safe food donation toolkit for food facilities. The link is at the bottom of the slide. This toolkit was written before MEHKOs were allowed in California, but provides helpful general information about how to set up a food donation relationship. Fats, oils, and grease are part of many foods, but when washed down your MEHKO's drains, they can cause clogs that can cause sewage backups, damaged pipes, and problems in your sewer system. These clogs are expensive to fix and disruptive for everybody involved. For that reason, it's important to dispose of fats, oils, and grease, commonly called fogs, properly. How are fats, oils, and grease different? Fats are solid at room temperature. Examples include butter, shortening, margarine, peanut and other nut butters, meat trimmings, and dairy products like cheese and sour cream. Oils are liquid at room temperature and include cooking oils and salad dressings. Grease is liquid during cooking but solid when cold. Examples are gravy, mayonnaise, bacon fat, and some salad dressings. Regardless of what you call them, all fats, oils, and grease build up in pipes and can clog them easily. Fats, oils, and grease should never be disposed of down the drain. Instead, scrape solid fats or solidified grease into the trash. Pour cooled liquid fats into sealable containers and discard in the trash. Some local waste recycling centers or community hazardous materials collection centers can accept MEHKO cooking oils for recycling. Check with your waste hauler to see what options are available in your community. Cooking oil solidifiers are also available. A cooking oil solidifier is typically a powder you mix with used cooking oil that turns the oil into a solid that can be disposed of in the trash. You can also wipe cooking oils or grease from pans with paper towels and discard the paper towels in the trash. This is a good method for pans that have a small amount of grease or oil in them. Your MEHKO is in your home, which means that your MEHKO's activities may affect your neighbors. There are several things you can do to be a good neighbor and help keep your neighborhood pleasant for everyone who lives and visits there. Many of your customers will be driving to your MEHKO, so let's talk about traffic. Please remind them to drive slowly in your neighborhood and let them know where they can park. Schedule food pickups or dining at staggered times and help make sure your customers park in ways that don't block or slow down traffic. Noise. Your city, county, or homeowners association may have ordinances or requirements about noise, amplified music, and quiet hours. Consider checking to see what they are before you start your MEHKO, especially if you plan to offer on-site dining. Music and customer voices should be appropriate for your lot and your neighborhood. Trash. You will probably generate more trash and recycling through your MEHKO than you did before. To prevent pests and a nuisance, be sure that you have sturdy, leak-proof trash bags and leak-proof garbage and recycling bins with lids that fit securely. Your trash and recycling should fit completely into the bins, and the lids should close completely to keep out pests and rainwater. You may need to order additional or larger bins from your waste hauler, or have your trash picked up more frequently. Please also keep your premises and the public spaces around your MEHKO, like sidewalks and parking strips, clean of trash that your customers or others might leave behind. It's also always a good idea to take additional precautions around fire safety. In addition to standard recommendations for fire safety, such as keeping cleared, defensible space around your home and having working smoke and carbon monoxide detectors inside your home, it's also a good idea to keep charged, easily accessible fire extinguishers where you cook, both with indoor and outdoor cooking areas, and to keep outdoor cooking appliances like gas grills or barbecues away from any structures or other things that could catch on fire. Your MEHKO is a home-based business. If you rent your home, check your lease or talk to your landlord to make sure that home-based businesses aren't prohibited by your lease agreement. This is the end of our MEHKO Best Practices module. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of this week's class.